Hello, welcome to my channel. Welcome to Easy Career Growth.
Okay.
On this channel, we try to break things down to a grassroots perspective so everybody can get something out of these things.
Oh, that's hot.
In this video, we're going to talk about the pros and cons of office romance. I got my glasses on, you got my hat. You know, some of you guys think you are Mac Daddies from back in the day. Some of you guys think you're a player. But you really aren't. In this video, I'm going to tell you some key things you should do and you shouldn't do in the office place, man, because you can get in a whole lot of trouble. Or you might find your wife. Let's jump into it. You know, working in any industry can be very, very stressful on a relationship. So a lot of times when people spending long hours of work or in close environments or on teams, you know, and having dinners and lunches or traveling together, a lot of people find themselves being attractive to someone that they work closely with. Not saying it's wrong or not saying it's right, but it happens quite a bit. You know, because you're probably with those people in your office or in your working environment, oftentimes more than you at home. If you get 12 hours when you're home, if you're lucky, normally you probably spend 10 to 12 hours in the workplace. So that's a good opportunity. You're close with somebody, you're in the same environment, so you can probably start to get some vibes if you like this person, if you don't like this person. So it's like a nesting place, if you will. Look, they say about 80% of affairs, they start in the workplace. Because, what I just said, because you're always with that person, you're always around that person. So there's some good things and some bad things about that. You know, people in the office, they kind of understand what you're going through. So you know what they're going through, especially if you're working long hours. So you might go home and your spouse is giving you a hard time about working so many hours, and you're talking to that person at work who's right beside you doing the same thing, and they're saying, you know, I don't understand it, but you know, I get it. You know, I don't know why they don't get it. You know, just that soft ear, that listening thing that makes you kind of gravitate that way a little bit. It's a slippery slope, man, slippery slope. Slippery slope, that's all I can say, slippery slope. But if you don't have a spouse at home and you're working all types of hours, so you really don't get a chance to go out and mingle with other people because you have a very, very demanding job. This is why sometimes you meet people on the job and it works out. Meeting someone on the job can also have an emotional aspect to it, meaning they get it while you're working on these hours. They see why you're trying to find the corporate life. They see all the hours you put in. They see how dedicated you are. And they understand because the politics or the rigor and the grind of getting there, you gotta live it. You gotta be in those trenches too to really feel it. A lot of times people on the outside, I'm saying single people, married people, they don't get it because they're not in that environment. They hear it, they kind of feel it, but they really don't understand what's happening there. So you might get some whining from people that aren't married, but have, you know, spouses, and people that are married. So it's easy to have someone on the job tell you, hey, I get it, I'm with you, you know, you want me to stay a little bit longer for you, I can help you out a little bit. Next thing you know, right or wrong, could be a good thing, could be a bad thing. That's up to you. There's many companies that have office policies about having, you know, relationships. It should be reported to HR, that should be highlighted. I know it's kind of like why you're in my business, but everything needs to be up front because, you know, people will see things, people will start to gossip. And if you're really doing a fantastic job and you get a promotion and everybody know that you have an affair or you dating the boss or somebody else in another department who has an ear with somebody else, then, you know, you want your efforts and your hard work to be recognized as something positive, not that you got it because you're dating someone or you're seeing someone. That's not the case. Nobody wants that. You don't want that noise behind you. You want all your efforts and your hard work to shine for you because you put it in the work, you just will get the credit for it. You know, I'm not saying you need to tell everybody you want the dinner, but if it starts to get serious, it starts to materialize where people see you chatting all the time, you riding in together, you're riding back together, you're going to lunch together every day, you know, highlight it, flag it up to HR if there's a policy. If there's not a policy, I wouldn't try to be underground with it. I would try to be upfront. All right, let's talk about some cons. You know, I kind of talked about some positive things, you know, having someone there who understands who you are, there's the emotional connection, time element associated with it because you can see each other every day, 5 days a week. There's a bunch of positive things about meeting someone in the office. If you're single, they're single, and it's mutual. Key point, it's mutual. You can get caught up on some sexual harassment stuff or, you know, very, very quick.
Bruh, chill.
Make sure, if you want to date somebody in your office, you make sure that they're okay with it, right? You know, don't push anybody. No is no. Please No is no. Not maybe, no. No is no. And you know, it doesn't have to be no either. You can be like, nah. You know how girls or guys will give you that look like, I'm not feeling it? Walk away. It's not worth your career. It's not worth a job. Keep fishing, go in another pond, keep fishing somewhere else. Walk away. I'm telling you, walk away. So the con side, you can potentially ruin your reputation by dating someone on the job, by dating your boss, or you being the boss and dating someone, maybe that high up and didn't really damage their careers, but it did. It did at the end of the day. So if you're not out front with it, you're not, telling everybody, this is what I'm doing, you can separate. So you don't have to be in the same place. You need to move or they need to move, so you're not a direct report. So when that relationships go bad on the con, when it goes bad, they normally go really bad. No one really kind of breaks up and say, yeah, okay, we'll be friends. That's fairy tale stuff. When you break up, it's usually a breakup. So look, you don't want to be in that environment where you still stuck with them, 10, 12 hours a day. You still got to travel together. You still got to do all these other things. Normally what happens? Somebody quits. Somebody leaves the business. And maybe that could impact on your career path. Maybe you had the right mentorship. Maybe you had the right network. But because of this relationship, you had to give it all up. Maybe go to another job, start over. Do you really want to do that? Do you really want to give up everything you worked for the last 5, 6, 7, 8 years because you want to have a relationship on the job? Can't tell you what to do. Me personally, can't tell you what to do. People can look at you as getting favoritism. People can look at you as being, promoted prematurely. No matter what you do, no matter how hard you work, someone's gonna say, they only got that because they was having an affair with such and such, or they were talking to such and such. That's
it's a disgusting habit.
That's so bad, so negative, and you don't want to have that aura around you by not being a hard worker or being professional or have the highest integrity. You just don't want to have it. So probably the biggest one, guys. You can end up, if it goes pear-shaped, you can end up getting fired. Right? You can end up getting fired over an office romance, or you can end up getting demoted, right? It can derange your career. But the worst case, you can get fired. And then when you go to get your next job, what happened? If it was some type of harassment suit, when you're dating someone on the job, you're saying everything. Now, who knows when that stuff can be brought back up again? If you got an inappropriate email, no one is that stupid to be sending jokes and saying inappropriate things on company email in 2023. I hope not. If you are, I don't know what to say. Well, you missed the boat somewhere. My point is, you can't even do it on your private email because you guys are working together. So if you're sending somebody on your personal email, they take that to HR, print it out and say, this guy's sending me stuff, or this girl's sending me stuff on Instagram, Facebook, whatever the case may be. All that stuff is fair play. So you get caught up in that game. All I can say is, I try to warn you. Do what you want to do. What I would do, stay away from it. So, I think in this video, I've given you some pros and some cons about what to do in the office environment as far as romance. I know a lot of people who met some people in the office that got married and they've been happily ever after. I knew other people it's gonna have been a complete bomb. I mean bomb. It's the worst thing. It set the whole office off. Some people had ugly divorces, families split up, all types of stuff. You just don't want to do it because you're going to end up losing your job, losing your livelihood. It puts a lot of pressure on your team, puts a lot of pressure on your boss. It can sink your career. You can get yourself fired. You can ruin your family. You can ruin your marriage. I don't condone having affairs at all.
It's a disgusting habit.
Obviously, it's a bad thing. It's not ethical. Just don't do it. So all I'm saying to you is, when you think about having an affair on the job, please think hard about it. Give it some thought. Talk to your mates, talk to your buddies, and really figure it out if you want to do this. And then you need to have that discussion with that person. Make sure they're aligned with having some dates and talking. And then you guys need to have an open discussion about what happens if things go bad, right? Because you don't want to get them fired and they don't want to get you fired. Or, look, I've seen it. They tried to get somebody fired. Somebody just told me a story the other day. That somebody got fired because somebody broke up with him and sent an email. Boom, got fired, and their spouse didn't know about it. Guess what? Now the spouse knows about it and they want a divorce. Boom, shakalaka, the whole thing blew up on them. Over what? Office romance. Look, hit that subscribe button. Hit that like button.
And thou shalt be saved.
Look, it really helps the channel. I need your support, I need your help. I want to keep doing these videos, but I need some help. So appreciate your time. Thanks for clicking on it. I'll talk to you later. Peace.